Hey, I'm back as well. Everybody got their food. Everybody got a little munch. You don't have to apologize at all, Jay Z. I decided it was easier to just stop the stream and restart the stream because then I can like upload it in chunks to YouTube. I don't know. I was like, this will probably be easier because in case I do need to download it for an edit, it'll be a lot easier if the chunk is a lot smaller. But no worries, no worries. I mean, I've been streaming for like 2 hours now. We are the only ones in this stream. I'm mostly doing it for us. It's for our fun, nobody else. So at any time, if you feel like you're getting a little tired, or you want to eat, or you just our social battery is done for the day, you can say that at any time. We don't need to be streaming until 1 or 2 a.m. I most likely will have to stop between like around 11:30 anyway, because I live with neighbors. I live in an apartment. Um, so around 11:30 I will have to speak quieter anyway. So that might be a good cutoff point regardless, but if in any case you wanna stop anytime sooner, you can't tell me. I'm not a professional streamer. I'm streaming for my friends and I'm doing little OCs. Alright, let's get this screen away. I'm figuring out OBS as we speak. There we go. Pardon. Alright, we finished Bruno. I do feel like I might have left out some of his lore. I got myself some stew just now, so that felt very Bruno-esque. But yeah, I spoke mostly about the history of elves and dwarves and the history between him and Lucas, I guess. Bruno himself, despite being a very casual, chill person, like I said in that time in the break, he did learn some morals, learn some, responsibility, and how do I put it? He made himself the sole responsible person for Lucas's diet. And Lucas's diet as a mer is of a cannibal. Well, it's hard to call him a cannibal considering he's not a human eating humans. He's a mer eating humans. So for him, humans are like chicken. So calling him a cannibal is kind of weird. But it's the easiest way to explain it. So Bruno is actually the one who started the whole system inside the city where the main story takes place. The entire city of capturing evildoers and gang members and kidnappers and any sort of lowlife. He was the one kind of responsible for capturing those and on the side feeding Lucas through that through that system. Because I'm pretty sure the fam is not the only vampires they know. They probably know some other vampires as well, but less intimate, less family connection, more like, oh, we know this one guy. So they might have supplied blood occasionally as well. Hey Mira, are you back? My cat is already back. Hey baby, you heard me talk? You heard me chitter? Up up? Oh, I got a lappy now. A little baby. Go. Are you gonna settle? Are you gonna sit? Are you gonna sniff the microphone? He's sniffing all of you now. Mira. Yeah. I'm on the PC. I'm chitter chattering. I wish I had a camera. But I do not as of yet. I may get a camera soon. Yeah. Oh, baby. You're laying on my mouse hand. Do you know that? You're laying on the hand that controls the mouse. The stream is about Mira now. Mira wants all my attention now. Mira. Baby. Oh. Yeah. But yeah, Bruno is the one responsible for all the city activity, for making the whole group. He knows a lot of humans that also work together to save magical humans, I'll call it. Mostly humans with a magic history that do need some support system, that can't just hide their their powers that easily. So they were kind of the OG system in the city, especially with the hunters. It was very hard for them to do this publicly because any public stunt would get stomped down pretty fast by the hunters, I'd say. Um, they weren't always busy with that because, as you can tell, they didn't know the family had a whole entity piece business going on. They didn't know about Doc until after the fact because they kind of try to stay out of people's business. Not because they don't care, but mostly because of they're like close to 400 years now. If they meddle in every single person's life that they come across, that is too many lives to keep track of. That is too much. There's just too many people. You can't. And they've seen, like I said, 400 years. Human lifespan on average, if healthy, is like around 70, 80. They've seen a lot of people come and go. And of course that hurts a lot and stuff, but that's also why they kind of have to separate themselves to some degree from people, because if they get too attached, it's like, you know, you gotta live your own life as well. The elves have a similar kind of mentality, so it's more of magic creature mentality. Humans for them are kind of odd. I think Lucas and Bruno are currently, and Tyrael as well, I'd say, they're currently more in tune with humans and mortal lifespans and stuff than any of the other light magic creatures, I'll say. Because light magic creatures, after the ban of letting humans know about magic, they kind of separated themselves. They kind of just view humanity as part of the world, and that's it. There's no further real connection. Especially with the elves, there's a lot of hatred still left towards humanity because of the Middle Ages war, where a lot of them got stamped as demons and devils and monsters and hunted down. So there's some animosity there still, especially with the elves that still remember or who were alive during that time. So yeah, but that explains why Bruno and Lucas kinda only became closer to the fam later on, as they learned more and kinda through Sia interacted more and more with them. Because before that it was kinda just like, you know, a boss an employee kinda relationship. A bit family, but not too close. Like, the fact that they let Sia get turned is a huge thing. Right now, if Evan heard that, he would probably flip. But at the same time, Sia was dying. She was looking for her brother, couldn't find him at all, had no hope for life, had kind of given up. The medical treatments that Lucas was trying to give her weren't really working because they assumed she had some form of light wasting disease, which there isn't really a cure for. The only way to cure that is kind of through counseling that grief, and only if the person can work through that, because grief is like a huge thing, especially to the light creatures. Grief is like a death sentence. So yeah, they were like, you know what, if she turns into a vampire, then that's what her life decides to do. At most, all they could do was curse Dark to make sure that it was Sia's decision. And, okay, early on in the story, of course, I didn't think the story would get that big, so Sia's transformation still kind of was as she was dying on the floor. So she couldn't really say much of a yes. But I did drop some hints back then, even though it wasn't that clear, because like I said, I didn't know the story was gonna take the path that it was gonna take. But even then, I was already kind of dropping the hints of, yeah, she definitely does want to become a vampire, if it means finding her brother. She was just kind of trying to find a moral peace with it, with the fact that she was so eager to say yes. And when she comes back, I am gonna play more into that fact that she accepts the fact that she isn't human to begin with. She's realizing a lot of stuff about her, so she might have a bit of a shift of personality. I can reveal that when she comes back. That might unnerve some of the fam, but I feel like she's been not pretending per se, but pushing a lot of stuff she likes to do and her genuine emotions about stuff down in order to not worry the rest of the people of the fam. Pardon. So yeah, Sia's personality might change, but yeah, Bruno and Lucas, that's kind of a bit their whole story. So the fam is actually the first time in a long while that they've kind of gotten more attached to people. Because the last time they were this attached to people was when they were pirates. They were kind of really attached to their crew. Yeah, the siren comes in handy now. That works. Oh, I just ate. I'm sorry. I'm gonna give him blue scales. Green scales? Blue scales. Did I get a message? No, not just the light playing on my phone. Okay. Class. Oh, that's an interesting one actually. I think he's a bard. Honestly, yeah. I think Lucas is a bard. Well, no, warlock. Oh, that's a hard one. I can see both warlock and bard for him. Warlock because, yeah, he has a pact with his peace, whether he wants to or not. Bard because he's a very charismatic person. And I could see him just charming his way through life. Let me see what instruments and stuff. That's way too big for him to carry around. Nah. He'd use more his voice than anything else. Okay, let me see what Warlock does for him. Oh, not Wizard, Warlock. Because there's no witch in here, is there? Yeah, no. I think I did have a mod for the witch, but I think I removed it because it was bugging out. Oh well. Well, it doesn't matter. Subclass. Also the busy in return from... Oh yeah, that works. And pledge something unthinkable to an unspeakably ancient entity. Yeah, that works. Dissonant whispers. Hideous. Yeah, absolutely. I think we can agree that Lucas has a pact with an unspeakable being. Charm person, not as much. Hex, yeah, Hex would work, but this one, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, I've used it in the game. It is so useful. If it hits, that creature just falls down laughing uncontrollably. And I feel like that's a pretty good, awful hex to give someone. Haunted one. God, that does actually work for him really well. Let me just see what else. Nah, that's more... That's, no... I might have given this actually to Felix. I might change that for Felix maybe later. Trickster Hedonist. Instead of, what did I give him? Criminal? Yeah, I think he's more of a trick. Yeah, I might change this one for Felix. The Deception and Stealth. Yeah, just as background info. But, ooh, Lucas. I would believe when he was a mer, he was kind of a folk hero. Because he did become a witch, and a sea witch is a folk hero in a sense. A folk hero in training. Or an artisan. Charlatan. No. Yeah, I think Haunted one. Even though, like, story-wise, Baldur's Gate story-wise, it wouldn't be the same, but the concept of being haunted by his piece works really well in here. Because he always has to, just like in Baldur's Gate 3, which one is it? The Dark Urge is a character that has to keep fighting against his dark urges. That works perfectly for Lucas, because he also, even if you can't tell in the story, because of his age, he's used to it. He is constantly, every second of every moment of his being, even while asleep, fighting against the urges that his piece gives him. And he can never actually fully turn it off. Eldritch Blast doesn't feel like him. Bone Chill does. There we go. A bit of necromancy. And a bit of shadowy magic. Yeah, that also works. Perfect. Intelligent is pretty high for him. Charisma is super high for him, that is true. He's very charismatic. He is basically the life of the restaurant. While Bruno is pretty charming in the kitchen and he can pretty much keep up a good conversation going, Lucas is the one that draws in the crowds. It's also why he is the manager. The CEO, manager and everything of the restaurant. He's the one that checks employees, he's the one that does the background checks, he's the one that notices every single magical creature that walks through the door. So like Dark never stood a chance, he knew who Dark was the instant he walked through his door. Like a makeshift fey magic. Because the restaurant, okay, fey magic means that the domain, they have full control over the domain. Lucas isn't a fae, but he's pretty powerful enough to be able to put enough hexes, curses, other sort magic on his area, jinxes and all that stuff in order to keep the peace in the restaurant. So if anyone trips one of those hexes, jinx, etc., etc. he has hanging around there, they will not have a good time. So, yeah. This is not Lucas. Lucas is also, that's a sentence that popped in my head just a minute ago. Lucas is as white as the light that he kept trying to chase. So he's a very white character. He's not neutral, he's pale as heck. So... God, it's hard to get pale colors in here. That looks a lot like Felix again. Oh, I kind of like that because of the bluish tone. Ooh, I'm not gonna do it though. Doesn't look human enough. Oh yeah, Lucas has blue eyes. That actually checks out. Hair. He's a bit more flamboyant with his hair. Where is my flamboyant hairstyles? He's the one that actually keeps Bruno clean with his haircuts and everything. Because otherwise Bruno wouldn't do anything for his hair. Oh, it's just a little too tall. I'm gonna do the colors first. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let me see if I can find a bit more flairish hair. cat? Hold on, my cat is calling me. She wants to go outside, I think. I already gave you food. Little baby. That's enough food for today. She's asking more treats. Maybe that. We have a snacks on today. Oh, she wants all the treats. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the hairs again. It's too flat. It's not Lucas. I guess that this one does work. Oh, it's too messy. No! Too messy. Well, I guess it kind of works. Okay, it works as good as anything. Let's see if I can find his face type. I think that's more important. Yeah, I do kind of like that. I hope the tattoos are not too intense. I hope I can kind of adjust them.
Where to next?
Let's hope the locals are friendly.
Be wary. There's more of those wretched things.
I don't know if you can hear my cat in the background. She's yelling at me.
What was that?
Okay, I don't like any of the voices, but that's not important right now. No, no. No. I regret changing the face. Which face did I have? Oh, as good as anything. Yeah, she's very loud. When she wants to be heard, you can hear her over everything. But when there are guests, she's the quietest mouse. Yeah. She keeps going to the window, and like I do let her out, but I let her out in a harness, so because she's not really an outside cat, and I would never let her be a fully outside cat, to be completely honest. Besides the dangers, she's also the type of personality to freeze up. So if she goes out, gets startled by something, she'll hide and freeze and not react to anything. So I could call her for hours with her favorite treat. She would not react. So she's never gonna be an outside. Not that I ever planned on making her an outside cat, but like, but yeah, she goes to the window. She waits for me, tricking me into thinking she wants to go outside for the harness. And as soon as I reach the window, she's like, boom, zoom, and then she goes to her food bowl and it's like, more food. I'm like, Mira, you already got your food. Because she gets like a certain amount of dry food. And not more than that, because dry food is not healthy for cats. So she gets her wet food and her dry food. Well, raw food and dry food. But the raw food she keeps leaving in the plate, and the dry food she eats up, and then she's like yelling at me that I want more food while her plate is still full of raw food. And I'm like, no, you're gonna eat your raw food, and that's gonna be your meal. And once that's done, you can have some dry food as a snack. But then she gets mad at me, and then you can hear her yell. Man, these tattoos kinda suck. Body art. Can I? Woven razors. Don't know what that is. Ah, there we go. That's a lot better. Goodbye. Does Lucas have facial hair? He does not have facial hair in my head, to be perfectly honest. Can I remove those? That's probably in eyes? No. Let me see the eyes first. Oh yeah, that looks a lot like what's in my head for Lucas. Yeah, he doesn't have yellow in his eyes. Oh, I do like the purple. Purple green. It's cute. Oh. You know what? I'm gonna stick with that purple blue. That actually works perfectly. Because I originally wanted to give him violet eyes. But for some reason, apple blue sea green is what stuck in my head. And you can kind of see that apple blue sea green on the sides. So yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to that. I wonder where the facial stuff was. It was here somewhere, wasn't it? Oh, I could give him some gray hairs considering he's in his 400s. Like bluish gray hairs. You can't even see it. There we go. Yeah, that works. Kinda his scales kinda peeking out. Let's see. Yeah, I feel that works. Okay, I still don't know where the scales are. Because that has like dragon styles. Huh. Oh, I forgot about piercings. I completely forgot piercings exist. Oh yeah, he'd wear that. Nah. Evan would wear those, but like on one ear. For that stabilizer he has. I keep finding stuff so after I've made the characters. There we go. No. Oh, that's none. Yeah, I'm gonna give him these. Lucas is someone with weird earrings and dresses in general. Let me see if I can get the scales off. No, just scarring, right? Yeah. I'm gonna make him a bit on the old side. he is getting on with age. That's a little too much, I think. Oh, you don't see a lot of wrinkles appear, honestly. Okay, edit character. Let me see, does Siren do anything? Being Siren... Let me see. It does give charisma checks. Yeah, that does. Yeah, and dark vision. Okay, yeah, I should keep that. Even though it kind of bothers me, I should keep that. Green scales, maybe? Makes it more subtle. I guess that makes it more subtle. Yeah, I'll do green scales just because it makes it a little more subtle. Even though I feel like if Lucas goes into his actual mer form, then he is a lot more light blue colorish. Cause let me check the fish inspiration that I took for him. Yeah. So the fish inspiration that I took for him is the mako shark. I did say that in the story, but I'm just saying that again. So mako shark is kind of grayish, light blue coloring. So yeah. Yeah, no, I'll keep it on blue because it makes more sense with the fishy that he is. I only wish I could like kind of make it a little lighter, like I could change the color, but I guess it is kind of mod. So, okay, light armor makes sense, simple weapons make sense. Lucas fully depends on his magic. He does not really use any sort of weapons. So he doesn't have a dagger. I mean, he carries a dagger for blood magic, but he doesn't use a dagger. All his magic is shadow whips, shadow attacks, shadow tentacles. So it's pure magic based attacks with him. You could say he's like pure sorcerer form. What else? His magic also, it's part of also why he works with Bruno to capture villains and stuff. He did do that with Bim last time, that he went out and in order to capture this one CEO type of guy that ruined the life of one of the people that Lucas protects. That girl got paralyzed because of a stage accident. So what Lucas does essentially is steal the ability of another person in order to give it to another person. That's the kind of magic he is capable of. And he is capable of that kind of magic because of the sheer amount of power, the tiny piece that he has inside of himself comes from. Because that piece comes from ancient eldritch horror, darkness magic deep within the ocean that is so powerful that it can mutate fish into mer. That's how the mer were born. That darkness in its anger mutated fish in order to make mer. And the earliest mer were also like devoid of all emotions, self-awareness and everything. Because they were just fish turned, yeah. Lucas is extremely powerful. He realizes how powerful he is also. He has no illusions about his own power. The problem is, if he gives into it completely, or even a little bit, it will consume him in seconds. He won't even have time to think twice about it. It won't be a gradual takeover, it will be a hostile, immediate takeover of his mind. It is that powerful. So, he can use that magic, but he needs to have a Herculean amount of self-control over it. At all times he is tempted to use all of his magic, at all times he is tempted to just give in, at all times he is being worn down by that piece, to just give in to that anger, give in to that mindlessness in that power, and become the true vessel of it, in short. Because that piece doesn't really have a voice, it's just an emotion that Lucas feels constantly. Um, I guess I would compare it a little bit to, well, a little side fact about myself. I take sleep medication, and one of the sleep medications I had to take gave me this uncontrollable hunger. And when I say uncontrollable, I mean I was ready to bite off my arm in order to just stop being hungry. I have a lot of sympathy for people that, don't make that hormone in order to stop being hungry. Those stories you sometimes hear on TV about people who are born always hungry and eat like scissors and stuff. I was that hungry. I will never forget that experience with that one medication. That was just mind blowing. When people say they go on antidepressants and stuff and they just keep eating and stuff, I get it now. That medication was just madness. It was just madness. And like, I don't mind personally gaining some weight. That wasn't the problem. The problem was just I was going crazy. My stomach was in like agony. I was just hungry all the time. I couldn't think about anything but eating. Not even food, just eating. I could eat tissue papers for for example. I could eat anything. And some of that madness that I remember, because I stopped after like a month. I couldn't keep going. But some of that madness, that feeling, just that rage I felt then, that hunger, that just blind manic feeling I was getting from that medication. Yeah, it was madness. I was going mad. And just that smidge of that feeling I pour into Lucas of what I remember and just amplify it. Because I'm lucky. I only had to do that medication for a short while. It wasn't life necessary thing. It was just to help me sleep. Just an attempt. And when you take hormone changing medications of any kind, whether it be for eating, sleeping, energy, it doesn't matter. Any sort of hormone changing medication, you're gonna have to experiment. Maybe you'll have to take like 10 different before you find the medication you find, or maybe you're lucky with the first one. But you shouldn't feel bad. You can just keep working together with your doctor until hopefully you have a good doctor and you find your answers. So I'm lucky that medication was just something that was a trial period. I didn't go mad. I felt like I was going mad, but I luckily didn't go mad. But I give some of that to Lucas. That endless hunger, that endless frustration, that endless anger, like just that rage. It is always simmering under the surface with Lucas. And you can't tell that if you read him in the story. He's like super calm, super charming, loves life. But there used to be a time he wasn't like that, where his anger, his own guilt as well about what happened to his mentor, and everything did threaten to consume him multiple times. But ironically, or like coincidentally, his training with his mentor is the reason why he's able to stay sane. Because his mentor saw the capabilities in Lucas and was like, you are gonna make an incredible sea witch that will protect whatever group of mer you choose to protect, because not every sea witch actually stays with the same group. Some decide to go and meet another group, make their own group. But yeah, she saw something in Lucas. She, as a sea witch, recognized the potential, and she trained him really well. Even though, because I love that part, I make a lot of parallels between Bim and Lucas. Lucas was just as impatient as Bim, just as callous, just as morally gray. It's like humans are just food. End of story. There's no personality, there's no emotion, they're just dumb Whatever. So yeah, I like making those parallels. But that sea witch saw something in Lucas and really, really trained him so hard, despite his impatience. Sadly enough, one of their fights, because they got into a fight, backfired into Lucas deciding to take matters into his own hands and chasing after the magic to get what he wanted. And in Lucas's case, unfortunately, that ended up being the worst decision he ever made. He got stuck with a piece, like a tiny shard of the eldritch horror of a piece, while his mentor, and someone he looked up to a lot actually, got taken by the eldritch horror. He hopes she is dead. He's pretty sure she is not, but he hopes she is, because anything else is a fate worse than death. And he would be pretty correct about that statement. Bim made a similar decision pretty early on, I think, in a story where he tried to unlock Sia's memories and also messed with magic he was not ready for. But in this case, it had a happy ending. I mean, a good ending. Nobody died. Nobody got a fate worse than that. It was supposed to be a different arc at that part because the story was almost finished, but I changed that. But I remember that scene was supposed to be the OG, very close to the ending. And I was gonna copy what happened to the sea witch, the original sea witch. Yeah. Which one? The biggest one. But yeah, that's a bit of Lucas' backstory. That's the kind of person he is. He is always angry, but he has a pretty good control over it. What else? He's a very charming person. He, when Bruno's parents were still alive, he actually had an amazing relationship with Bruno's mom. So his mother-in-law loved him a lot. Which was a surprise, because in the beginning his mother-in-law obviously was like, what the heck? Darkness creature, Mer, enchanting my son, what is happening? And they became besties. Those two were besties. They had an awesome relationship. I'm pretty sure she took him shopping, dwarven version of getting fabrics and stuff for outfits and jewelry and metallurgy and all that. So those two were very, 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 very close. And that's a lore I always love saying. Him and Bruno's dad also were pretty close, to be honest. Like Bruno's parents actually really adored Lucas once they got to know him. Once the whole initial fear of, oh, he's a Mer, a darkness creature, kind of passed on. And I think the pressure to be strict on Bruno and Lucas kind of fell away when Bruno told his parents that, hey, I don't want to be a prince, I don't want to be a royal ruler, I don't feel like I'm fit for it, the whole talk. They kind of, like, the pressure fell away to make appearances before the whole royal country. So as soon as the cousin of Bruno got the whole role, they kind of could take a step back and be like, oh yeah, we can be like doting parents at this point. And doting parents-in-law. So yeah, that's also a bit of that backstory. A funny story that Bruno likes telling is that Lucas once got captured by a bunch of other pirates because he was in his mer form, and he had to keep singing in order to keep the whole tavern where he was stuck as a zoo piece. He had to keep singing in order to keep them all charmed, while Bruno just walked in, like sauntered in, in order to save him. And Lucas was so pissed off at him, like, do your job already. Stop making me sing. Bruno messes with Lucas a lot. There's a lot of stories of Bruno messing with Lucas. Yeah. Lucas was singing in his lyrics somewhere. He's cursing Bruno out like, you absolute idiot, come and save me already. And singing it in his siren voice. I just love that mental image in my head. He's in a big tank, all the way in the back of the tavern, as a showpiece. Like, look at what I caught, the pirates then. And all the pirates seem to be kind of drunk, but they're all being charmed because he's using every inch of his siren magic at that moment. And Bruno is just sauntering in and just looking at him with his arms crossed and just smiling. And Lucas is like, get me out, you evil idiot. Because the mental image is my favorite image of those two, and that kind of defines their whole story, that mental image. That was one of the first mental images that I had for those two. So yeah. Also, fun fact, Lucas and Bruno, because if you go all the way to the start, yeah, it's like it's my absolute favorite scene for them. Maybe I'll draw it some. My drawing skills are so rusty at the moment. I can only draw stick figures, but maybe someday I'll draw them and draw that scene of them. Lucas in his tank, staring daggers at Bruno. Bruno is just grinning at him. The whole tavern around them is charmed. Yes. Bruno teases Lucas a lot. Not that Lucas doesn't get him back, but you know, it's those kind of things that just give me life. But yeah, fun fact about Bruno and Lucas. If you go to the start of the RP, the main story, it is said that Bruno and Lucas work together with Bruno's dad in the restaurant, and that it's his dad's restaurant, actually, family restaurant. OG, those two were humans. They were just NPCs. I had no plans for them. They were never gonna be part of Sia's life long. They were both humans. The dad was also somewhere there in the picture, but I didn't bother introducing him back then. I'm happy I didn't. But then when they came to visit the fam in order to help Sia, because Sia was like so sad and stuff about Doc, and they could tell. Sia just kept it short, as in, one of my family members is sick, yada yada. It is in that exact moment I was talking with Sid, and that I suddenly decided, heck, I want more magical creatures. And that decision came after I decided to make Evan suddenly half elf, because at first Evan was also a human. Evan was just gonna be a human. He was gonna get a family. He was gonna live happily ever after and die of old age, and that was gonna be his story. Because I didn't think the RP was gonna go that far. And then Bruno and Lucas were just NPCs. They were gonna be funny moments in Sia's story, occasionally there, and then suddenly they became immortal beings. Well, not immortal. Mortal, long-lived beings. I was like, magic grandpas! Yeah! Thank you. Well, most of my decisions weren't deeply planned. They were just like, what if I do this? And then afterwards I was like, okay, I got this huge plot hole here. Let's see how I can fill that one up. I always make decisions that are funny or interesting to me, and afterwards I'll see what I can do to fill it up. I feel it makes for the most fun storytelling. Especially with Lucas being a mer. Like, he's showing off his sharp teeth suddenly in that scene was like my favorite part. It was like, yeah, the vampires aren't the only ones on the top of the food chain. There are some other creatures a little higher up. So yeah, that's Lucas. He was much loved in his fish family. He was also a bit of an outsider because he was always kind of like Ariel, always exploring shipwrecks and stuff and going up on the surface and looking around and stuff. He was fascinated with the other world a lot. And the moment he met Bruno and struck up a conversation and stuff is kind of when that accelerated, like I said before. Those stories of adventure and stuff, just he got obsessed. Lucas has a very obsessive personality. If he gets something into his mind, it's all he can think about. And I definitely base that on myself, because I also have that whenever I'm in a fandom or I start a new hobby or something, I get obsessed with it. It's not 50-50, it's always 0 to 100 real fast. I get obsessed with whatever I get obsessed with. And it's all I can think about, it's all I can dream about, it's all I can breathe and eat about. It's like, with fandoms, I want to be part of the world so bad that in the past anyway, I would make really bad financial decisions to just become that fandom. And I'm pretty sure I poured that into Lucas's obsession to become a human. It wasn't just a fancy or a hobby or like an interest. It was an obsession for him. And he has regrets about how he became human, obviously, but he's still glad he is a human. He might, if he did get a chance to change the past, though, he would, because he still feels very guilty for what happened to his mentor. Just because he's happy with his life now doesn't mean he doesn't regret those decisions. So he would change those decisions, absolutely, even if it meant he couldn't become a human. But yeah, those are just like small insights into Lucas. Oh yeah, him becoming human and basically rejecting his mer heritage, but also like rejecting dark magic in a sense, because he's constantly fighting with the beast inside of him. It caused a break in his connection to the ocean. So I think I did speak about it in the main awe a bit, between Bim and him. But the ocean does not sustain him anymore. So being in the ocean doesn't give him energy, it doesn't revive him, it doesn't like sustain him in any way. Because like a mer, they can't be eating humans all the time. It's impossible. they are in the water and the mer is above land. The humans are above land, I mean. So they get sustained by the ocean and by the residual energy of dark magic just being in the water all the time. Because they were kind of made by dark magic from fish. So they are sustained. So even if they don't eat humans for a really long time, they'll be pretty okay as long as they're in the ocean. Lucas doesn't have that anymore. He's genuinely cut off from that connection. Kind of similar to how Evan is cut off from the source of light magic. So I just realized there's a parallel between them two. I should have them chat about that sometime. Anyway, so yeah, he's not sustained, so any injuries he has, and anything that gets older, like his legs at the moment, they don't heal properly. Normally for a dark creature, if they get injured, they eat a human, they're all healed up, yada yada, it's all good. Lucas doesn't have that. He has a very human-ish body, you can say. And his rejection of giving in to his peace anyway makes it so his body doesn't heal properly. He's aging like a human. His body is breaking down like a human. So yeah, that is a part of his magic. So while he's very powerful because of his magic, he is also weakened on purpose by his peace because he's not giving into it. Oh, my nose. So that's some deep Lucas lore. He's forever gonna be walking with a cane because his legs are actually permanently damaged from that last time. He went and saved Ebony from that lake, because that lake is also a completely different water type than a shark is meant to be in, so that actively hurt him to be in. So yeah, a little Lucas lore. That's a little dark lore. Oh, I'm giving all the sad lore about him. Some happy lore is he's super happy being in the restaurant, though he's also really happy to finally retire because he's kind of done. He's tired. He's an old man. He's a grandpa. He wants to do his retirement plans now. But he was the joy in the life of the restaurant. Anyone came inside, he was usually the waiter, the first waiter to show up, especially with new people. And he just brought the charm into the restaurant. All the specific decorations and stuff, it's all Lucas. Lucas is like a decorating fiend. He'll just walk in, bring all the joy along, and being like, "Oh, this is on the house," and you know, he was just the life. He's the life of the house, of the party, of whatever. If there's a party and Lucas is in there, you know Lucas is there, because he just brings all the charm in, all the fun, all the joy. He loves dancing. By the way, right now, he's not as capable of dancing anymore because of his legs, but he loves dancing. That is just his pride and joy. He also likes singing, but a little less, because it kind of reminds him a little too much of his mer life still, and that sometimes it hurts, but if it's like a party and multiple people are singing, then it's different, you know, than when you're singing alone. So singing in a group, also loves it. He just loves being with people a lot. He's a very, very, very social butterfly. Very serious guy, but also a very big social butterfly. Which is why parallels to Bim. Many parallels to Bim. So yeah. Flamboyant boy. I might change his eye color a little bit. As much as I love the purple blue, I'm missing some of the green. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Ooh, I do like that actually. No. Let me do all eye colors for a second. Let me see what else there is. Nah, looks a little too ebony. It's a little too green. Oh, that would be cool. But I'm not gonna do that. Those are the demon eyes. Those are also demon eyes. That's too grey. No, those are more demon eyes. Dang it. Don't give me demon eyes. No. Why are all the cool colors demon eyes? I kinda like that actually. Yeah, those are for when the peace wins. Well, if the peace wins, there will be no eyes left. It will be all black. I think it will be... Yeah, it will be this. Because Lucas he won't exist if the Peach wins. That's game over for Lucas. I like this one more. It gives me more Lucas vibes than anything else. Yeah, it's because of this blue that it feels a little off. But if you imagine this gone, it does fit. Ah, so we got Lucas, charming guy, life of the party. Loves a good dinner party. Loves to plan them as well, which is the whole reason why he and Bruno's parents got along so well. Because those were actually also pretty party people. Because that's the thing. Bruno's parents were very social people, but Bruno is not. Bruno is the opposite. Bruno was very antisocial. Well, not antisocial per se, but just shy compared to Lucas. Lucas is just all talk. Venture Ward. Skip. Ah, we got another one. Ooh. We spent an hour on Lucas, I think. But yeah, I was also talking about Bruno a lot, so that kind of makes sense. Lucas would not be surprised waking up in a non-alloyed ship. He'll be like, "Yup, that checks out." Old Lucas, on the other hand, would be like, "Ugh, my retirement. Not another thing again." Like teenage and adult Lucas is like all about it, but old Lucas is not about it. He's like, "I want to retire. Get me out of here." Even now with the family, with everything happening, he's like, "I really, really want to retire, man." I'm so done with all of this. Look, he's lived a long life. He deserves his retirement. He's almost 400 years old. Not the retirement. Bruno doesn't care because he can cook. As long as he can cook, he's happy. But Lucas wants his retirement. He wants to go on the cruise. He wants to wear his sun hat and his silly boxer shorts and his silly Hawaiian shirts. He wants to retire. When I say Lucas is like, he loves being human, I'm so serious about it. He wants all the aspects about being human, including his retirement. I love Lucas. I love Lucas a lot. You can tell. Don't reset. Well, we made the Gramps. We made the couple, Neora and Evan. We made Felix. I guess I didn't really make Felix's family, but oh well. I can still make that. I guess I could make Sia again. I haven't really properly made her. So yeah, let's make Sia. I think that works best. What are you? Oh god. Oh, that is cool. But that's not her. Yeah, let's make Sia. Inspiring torches. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at the SMRs because I think one of them has Phoenix in them, but I'm trying to find it. Yeah, okay. Because the... Give her wings? Oh, but she doesn't have wings. What's a diva? It doesn't feel right to give her wings. Because there are lore reasons for why she doesn't have wings. Even though she is a fiery bird. Oh, that would be cool as vampire. Consuming. So, too much. trunks. She doesn't care about that. Intensely, yeah, fire is intense, and as a phoenix bearer, yeah, I feel that works. What are you, Featherfall? No, fiery hands. Yeah, burning hands. Yeah, Lore is blocking wings. There's a reason why she doesn't have wings. Even as a fiery bird. Well, Urchin fits the best. Urchin is much like Evan. Well, right now in lore she is haunted. Oh, this is a hard one. Didn't I have like... Oh, I think it's this. I think this is glitching out, but I had a resurrecting background. I did have that actually in here. God, was it one of the races? I thought I had her. Huh. Maybe it's this one? No. This one. No, the Avril died out in my lore. Oh yeah, there were elves with wings, but they all died out. Random lore I'm dropping on you. Yeah, because the only reason I'm taking Asmer is because I know they have like light magic, healing hands, etc. Divine health, exactly. That's why I wanted light. Okay, Phoenix. Filled with the power of Phoenix, tend to be versatile. No, I had another Phoenix. Is it this one? Infinity? No. Dang it. Ah, did I delete that mod? I hope not. Oh, it's not Divine Soul. I thought I had like another Phoenix. I'm pretty sure I had another Phoenix mod, but I think the mod just blocked itself out or something. Because I'm not getting it back now. Shame. That is a shame. Medicine and intimidation. No. Yeah. Arcana and history. You know, I might... Yeah, elves with wings were a thing in the lore. But something happened in the far, far past. Which made them all... die out. For reasons. Okay, right now I'm actually just looking at the skills. I don't really care about the background too much because she has like all backgrounds. as a well, reborn character, she literally has all the backgrounds. But yeah, I had a Phoenix mod. Wait, you know what? I'm gonna quit this one. I'm just gonna... Let me see if I can... butterfly wings, only the Fae have them. No elves have butterfly or any other sort insect-formed wings. And there's also a reason for that. Reset filters. Let me see if I can... Phoenix. Dang. Cheat look features. Fiery. Well, Sure, I'll just add the mod. Well, I think one of my third-party mods got uninstalled because it was breaking. Yeah, it was breaking the game. I remember now. I installed it, and it was specifically like a reborn kind of mod, and I found it very cool. But it kept breaking my game, so yeah, I uninstalled it. I forgot. But I'm not gonna go look for it now because it's on the Nexus mod page, and by the time I find it, that's gonna be like another hour. But we'll make her look real cool. That's what we are gonna do. Don't reset. Thank you. Let's see. No, it's not here either. Yeah. No. Okay. Never mind. Half Giant, Goliath, Ambient, Minotaur, Myconate. Yeah. I've tried to delete Nymph like several times now. Whoa, Jesus. my stream gonna be cancelled. Yeah. No. This one looks. This one works. Phoenix Bear. Yeah. Okay, I'll just give her Burning Head because yeah, this one's Phoenix Bear is with a sword, but I do know that there's another Phoenix class that works with. Isn't my character Phoenix? Didn't I make my character Phoenix? This is so weird. I feel I feel like I'm being bamboozled, tricked, gaslighted. That's the word. I feel like I'm being gaslighted that it's gone. It's like I had it here. I know I had it. Where did it go? It's so weird. Okay, fine. I guess I lost the class somehow, some way. Maybe it's in Sorcerer? Yeah, here it is! Your part, yeah, okay. It was hidden in Sorcerer. I was like, come on, it was here somewhere. Okay, so another thing about Sia. Once she comes back, she is actually gonna start studying magic. So up till now, partially because I hadn't decided how to write her out completely, and my focus was more on the whole past lives breaking through, wanting to be part of existence and all that. She's gonna be a lot more focused on learning magic, including levitation magic, use her teleporting magic more powerfully. She's gonna try learning as much light magic as her body can handle. I forgot the word. She's gonna try as much as possible because her body is dark magic at the moment, even though she is light magic. So there is some dissonance still between her body and the magic. But she is gonna try because at the end of the day, the Phoenix is not just fire magic. If you really look into the lore of the Phoenix, you'll see that it had that as a mythical being, there's a lot more magic that the Phoenix holds. For some reason, the Phoenix, through all of its iterations of past lives, hasn't been able to unlock its powers until now. The Pharaoh character, Yumuke, is like one of the first past lives that was most capable of unlocking a lot of its powers. But even then, they only focused on their healing magic because that's all they cared about. They just wanted to keep their people safe. And if you know Sia, that makes sense. That is also who Sia is. Sia just wants to keep her family, her people, safe. That's all she cares about. But when she comes back, she's gonna... She's doing some self-reflection. Let's put it that way. She still cares a lot about her family, obviously. But she also knows that she can't stay in that bubble of always, I don't know, trying to keep everyone happy. Because no one is happy right now. At this point, nobody is happy. So it's backfiring anyway. So yeah, she's gonna focus. She's also gonna be really good, I think, at illusion magic, light magic, levitation magic to some degree. Neora is actually pretty good at levitation magic because she has a very good grasp about um, the connection between earth and air, which in an odd way gives her leverage in understanding when an object is touching the ground or not. It's like Neora is pretty smart. She knows how to twist perceptions in order to work to her favor. So because her magic is very earth based, you would think that she'd be really bad at levitation magic, but because she knows how the earth reacts to something, she's able to kind of subvert the feeling. Hard to explain, but she's good at levitation magic. Sia is gonna be even better. Sia is gonna be really good at levitation magic. And that kind of compensates for the fact that she doesn't have wings. That's my way of compensating for it. Oh yeah, sleep, I have to give her that. Sia also, once she wakes up, that's actually part of Odette's power. I mean, all her past lives have an ability that she actually could tap into. She has all the abilities, but every single past life only had one or two abilities because that aligned the best with their lives. Like Toby had Tobias, full name, but Toby had pretty good fire resistance magic because he was blind. And that's actually why he was able to get Lisa, or Elizabeth, his cousin, out of that burning building while not feeling the heat that much. Until, the house literally collapsed on his head, and by that point, it was too much for his body to handle. That was just the end point. But if the house hadn't collapsed, he wouldn't even have had any burn marks. Lisa 100% had burns on her, but Toby wouldn't have had anything, because he had high fire damage resistance, even though he didn't know. He was blind. That was actually his body's way of compensating. Ebony was born with the ability to see and force the truth out of people, because she was born in an area with high political contention, and people were... I'm not very happy with what I did with Ebony's story, because I feel like I appropriated a lot of Black history. I'm gonna be very honest about that. So if I were to redo her story, I would be a lot more respectful of what I did. Because honestly, I feel like maybe I didn't, maybe I'm overthinking it, but I wanna redo her story if I ever do her story again, with a bit more respect. But I did put in a lot of political contention in her backstory, because I was just thinking about that. So in a time where everyone was lying around her, she was someone who forced people to speak the truth. That's how her power manifested. With Yumoke, that was a time of war. A lot of creatures were getting hurt, a lot of people were getting hurt. It wasn't just their kingdom, because Yumiko lived multiple times. Yumoke's time period was just strife with war after war after war, which is why healing powers were super, super important to that past life. And that's why it kind of pushed forward the most. Who else did I... Not Elaret, but... what was her name again? I always forget her name for some reason. I don't think I gave Elise much of a power. Well, singing. Yeah, I gave her singing, that's right. Her power was a little more subtle, that is true. Let me just check real quick in the list of names. I got so many names. At some point you kind of start... Eleanor! Yeah, Eleanor! The reason I keep forgetting her is because for some reason I want to call Eleanor every time. Eleanor, I'm not gonna reveal too much at once, but the moment she was alive, the family does think she is the first life to exist. I will agree on that. When she came into existence, it's when the whole world was still filled with miasma. It was like the early history, magic history. So all of her magic immediately repulsed black magic. Immediately. Like it was such a visceral reaction from her body that it in turn, it hurt her as well. Because it was such a intense reaction. So she would get burned by her own magic, by how intense the light magic would blow out. Because it wasn't even fire, it was just light magic. And that's actually the reason why she got adopted by the elves. Because any other human with magic would just be given back to the humans. The elves didn't. Yeah. The elves just immediately gave magic humans back to the humans. They didn't actually, want to have much to do with the humans, especially half elves being such a big target for drows at the time. And there was already some history by that point between the humans and the elves, but they were still amicable. We'll put it that way. So her magic was just intense. It just intensely pushed away darkness, and that's actually why the elves adopted her. She was an orphan anyway, they found her. So she's the only human at that time, the only human under the care of the elves. Because her magic was so powerful and they wanted her magic with them. Not the best reasons to have it, but oh well. So that was her magic. Who else did I have? Najma. Her power hasn't really been revealed yet, even though she's the first past life to wake up. Yes, Mira. Jij wilt niet naar buiten. Ik weet dat je niet naar buiten wilt. Nee. But yeah, did they find Eleanor? Who did? The elves? The elves found Eleanor. They were the ones who found her as a baby. A very, very specific person found her. I'm not gonna reveal just yet who did, but it was an elf. The elves found her. So yeah, the elves found her. So she got actually straight adopted into the healer sanctuary because her light magic was that powerful. And the healer sanctuary are actually the mages with the most powerful light magic of all the elves. All the elves have light magic, that's standard, but they are the most in tune with the source. So she got immediately adopted there. She was terrible with magic, by the way, but that's because the elves were too focused on light magic adaptations that they didn't really focus on the fact that she was getting hurt every single time that she got into contact with dark magic. So it was kind of a really bad education system back then. It was all, oh, light, oh. A little too focused, in my opinion. But yeah. So her magic was that. I was saying Najma. Najma magic isn't really revealed as of yet because I couldn't decide back then yet what her magic was. By now I have decided, and it's kind of also what I want to give to Sia after she comes back. But Najma's magic is based on a part of a past life that they all don't remember at the moment. What I mean is there is a past life somewhere in Sia's line that nobody remembers. None of the past lives that are awakened at the moment remember them. But basically Najma's magic is based on their magic. And when I say based, it's like a variation of it. So Najma is a sword dancer. And she is capable to a slight degree of manipulating multiple swords at the same time. Sia is going to be slightly more powerful in that, simply because Najma is the first one to awaken that ability again. If Najma hadn't been able to awaken that ability, then Sia would not have this ability right now. So it's all thanks to Najma. But Najma can handle several weapons, swords actually, at the same time. And Sia, relearning how to do levitation magic, is going to be literally able to hold like 10-20 swords at the same time, just levitating around her. A literal sword magic sorcerer. And that is a class in D&D. Sword sorcerer or sword dancer. You can look it up in D&D. It's also a class. And I'm taking big inspiration from that. Sia is not going to immediately get it because Najma did get damaged by the piece. So Najma's memory is a bit, not corrupted, but damaged, lost a little. So Sia is gonna need some training again in sword fighting, which I hope she'll enjoy doing. I have a scene for that. I have already discussed it with Sid. But yeah, once she learns how to use swords again, once she gets some training for levitation magic from Sia, Lucas, surprisingly, and no, Evan, I mean Evan, not Sia, Evan, Lucas, and Neora, especially, then it's gonna be real fun to have her do some sword dancing. And it's all because Najma is really in tune with the past lives in an odd way. Like, she's able to both Mira is just yelling in the background. But yeah, Najma is able to not fully awaken, but able to sense and connect with past lives pretty well. It's not a very flamboyant, very spectacular skill to have, but it's so vital to Sia and the rest of the past lives. It's the reason why she was able to keep Odette asleep for so long, because Odette has a extremely powerful skill, but also has extreme amount of trauma, because she is the kid past life. She's a kid. We'll just say it like that. Odette is 7 years old. The amount of things Odette has seen would give all of the past lives constant trauma, and nightmares and horrors and all that. So Najma is that missing link between past lives most of the time, protecting the nightmares, like fighting against nightmares, while also giving the past life some space to breathe, to be able to give their knowledge a little bit without, without them waking up fully. So it's like a very subtle ability she has. And that's why I say her sword ability is also she's the only one who could kind of sense that past life that none of the others are aware of. She's not aware of it either. She just senses something. And she's able to take some ability of it from sensing that. So yeah, a bit of a hard explanation, but so yeah, Sia is getting sword dancing. Who else is awake? Aresh. Did I give Aresh any abilities? That's a tough one. I don't know if I gave Aresh any magical abilities. Trying to think about it. No. I mean, I gave him kind of sensing abilities, but is that part of the Phoenix makeup? I don't know. I'll have to think about Aresh sometime. Let me just go see if my cat actually wants to go outside, or if she's just yelling me up. Yeah. she actually wanted to go outside this time. So voila. Aresh is one of those characters I didn't plan for. I didn't plan to wake him up either. I didn't plan to have an arc for him, but he just happened. So he does have some sensing magic, but I don't think I built that out so much. So I won't talk about his magic too much, because like you can hear, I'm still building him up a little, even though he's probably not gonna appear much in the story anymore. But you know, sometimes you just have a character who just comes in, gives some background, goes out again. Beatrice. Oh, Beatrice is gonna be fun. I'm not gonna reveal too much about Beatrice, but she has a very unique little secret to her. I'm hoping to tell that secret right after the carnival though, so I'm not gonna reveal too much about her either. But you can expect some reason for why she was amnesiac, because she's the only past life with amnesia, and there's a reason to that. A big reason to that. Who else? Ah yeah, Odette. Odette. Biggest of all of them. Odette is the eye of the phoenix, the eye of the storm, the literal eye of all the past lives. She sees everything. She remembers everything. If a past life wakes up, they are forced to see everything. Which is a problem. And that's also why Najma constantly says she shouldn't be awake. And she shouldn't be hanging out. The thing is, right now she's fully awake, which kind of buffers the fact that, because she's like human-ish, she's humanoid using a human brain at the moment, so it kind of buffers her own magic. But you saw what happened when she looked at Otter, and Otter was kind of forced to see all the truth of himself in one go. Yeah. Odie's power is kind of too intense, and the reason for that is because she wasn't like Yumoke. She wasn't living in a war season. She was living inside war, and she was 7 years old. A 7-year-old kid in the worst war of the world, literal world war. Starving, no family, people that kept trying to capture her in order to, I'm gonna be nice about it, put her in an orphanage and nothing else. I learned from Abani to be a little more sensitive about history. But yeah, she didn't want to be captured, she didn't want to be brought to orphanages or whatever else. She just wanted to keep looking for her aunt. But to the detriment of herself as well. So even though her past lives would want to stop her, they can't stop her, because she is the one. she is driving the body right now. She is the one alive. She has the most control over the body at the moment. But she would forcibly, not on purpose. It's not. She was 7 years old. It's not something she did on purpose. It was instinct. But she would purposely wake up the most strongest of the past lives in order to fight for her. Which you could see when was it? Doc was trying to run after Odie, and Sia suddenly stood between him and the doorway, saying, "I won't let you." Just like the last time she did that, when Doc was still a vampire, needing to be cured. She forced Sia out, and Sia wasn't in control. That memory of Sia wasn't in control. Sia was just there to protect Odie at that moment. So anytime that Odette feels in danger, like in desperate danger, it's instinctual. She will call on all of her past lives, force them out, and force them to protect her. But those past lives have no sense of self. They are not self-aware. They have no realization of who they are protecting her from. They don't care even. It could be family for all they know. but they don't see. They're part of the memory at that moment. So in that sense, Odie, she's just a kid in an impossible situation. And anytime, like, obviously she has extreme PTSD as well. Anytime she's stuck in that PTSD moment, she will call upon a past life and force that past life to live through whatever memory it is that can help her. Which is not healthy for the whole system as a whole, obviously. Which is also why I call her the eye, the extreme eye of the storm. Like, it's just that center point and no other thoughts, no other anything. And a past life that hears her being awake kind of suffers for it a little bit. Because Odette is not a rational being. Odette is not an adult thinking. She's not no logic or anything. It's just fear. It's just emotions. It's the purest emotions there are as a kid. Which is why Beatrice, that's also a part of Beatrice's amnesia, but I'm not going to reveal too much about it, but that's why Beatrice had a lot of issues. Because as a kid, Beatrice would constantly hear Odie and constantly see Odie. And Beatrice is also in the Victorian age. And if you go a little in the Victorian age was really obsessed with demonology and with ghosts of the past and with figuring out how to connect with the beyond and stuff. So Beatrice also had a bit of an obsession with that because of Odie, because of her earlier memories of Odie. She was like, I need to know. And that kind of sparks what happens for her amnesia later on, but that part I won't reveal too much, but you can take some inspiration for how Beatrice lived her life from the Victorian age obsessions with reaching the beyond. Reaching the ghosts of the past. I love history. I love stories. Yeah, Beatrice was right after Odie. Toby was right before Odie. And it's kind of because of Toby that Odie was born in France. Because Toby was kind of trying to look for Elizabeth in his last moments. And he kind of knew that Elizabeth lived in Europe. But like, where exactly he didn't know because he was blind. So he couldn't fully read a map. The only maps he had in his memories were the ones that Ebony had in his memories. In her memories then. So, kind of full circle on that. But yeah, Toby, Odie, Beatrice. If I would go fully in order, it would be Eleanor, Aresh, Najma, Ebony. Am I forgetting anyone? No, Ebony. Toby, Odie, Beatrice, Elise, and then Sia. Oh, Yumake, I forgot. Okay, Eleanor, Aresh, Yumoke, Najma, Ebony, Toby, Odie, Beatrice, Elise, Sia. Yeah, I think that's the order. I'm pretty sure that's the order. So yeah. Okay. Sia doesn't really have that big charisma, but magic-wise, I would give her high charisma, so I'm just gonna keep it like that. Constitution pretty high, yeah. Strength, well, normal Sia, not that strong. Sia as a vampire right now, extremely strong. And I am gonna bring up that point when she comes back. But she's not back yet, so that's gotta wait on that. Wat zit ik altijd binnen? Mira is already back inside. What's the carpet? Mira. Mira. You're back at work. Just go get something to eat. I gave her a bit of a snack because she was so hungry. And she kept asking for food, so I was like, come, I'll give her a small sneak. A small sneak. Mira. She's chowing down. Oh yeah, let's see. Doesn't feel like Sia, but whatever. Why the pointy ears? Why are you all pointy ears? Awful. Is the stream still going? Is everything still running well? I can never tell. I tried to keep an eye on the iPad, but you know, the iPad betrayed me earlier, telling me it was still running, while it was not. So... Ugh. I don't remember what I chose for Evan, but it's basically the same color as Evan. Let me just get the makeup off for a second. Body art off for a second. There we go. That's off. I would love to give her horns, but she doesn't have any. Okay, that works. Let's do hair first. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just never sure because sometimes, you know, the stream lags and stuff, so I prefer just asking just in case. Oh yeah, that's also a fact. Till now, Sia has always had like chin-length hair, approximately. I am most likely gonna give her longer hair when she comes back. It'll just be like, you know, in the story. But till now, she's always had kind of like chin-length hair because out of convenience. Mostly because it was easy to just put a bowl on her head and cut her hair short, keeping it manageable. But she wants to try out some new hairstyles. Mostly because I want to try out new hairstyles. And Sia is, at her core, kind of my Mary Sue. She was at first, not anymore, she's her own character now. But in the past, she was my self-insert. Oh, so that's pure Sia here, till now. Am Might give her some highlights. Ooh, I want to give her some blue highlights. Yeah, but not that much. How do I do like a you do one and it's like immediately so much. Yeah, just subtle highlights. I want some subtle highlights. What was I saying about Sia? I was mostly talking about her past lives, Beatrice especially. I'm gonna have fun with Beatrice once Sia is back. Like just some of her lore. Oh yeah, Elise. Elise is the one I haven't explained much of her powers. Her powers, I would say, was mostly in music. Elise wanted to be a singer. Her family was very music oriented. They were very into, you know, musical instruments, singing, performing. That's the whole reason while she was called Elise after the song Für Elise. And her sister is named Clara, like after the music notes, Clara. And Clara's daughter is called Viola. It's a whole thing with the family. They're all obsessed with music. A very musical family. Oh, I got hair on my mouse. Yeah. So I would say Elise's superpower was her singing voice. It's like a really nice singing voice. And Sia kinda also has it because she's also been starting to sing a lot more when she got healed. She kinda showed a lot more of her singing. Yeah, there we go. A little gray, a little bronze. It's the same one as... It's not the same one as Evan's, but kinda has the effect. So, I like it. Thank you! I love stories. Like, if you ever wonder what my motivation is after making the characters, powers is funny. Giving Evan electrical powers, hilarious. Giving Sia the ability to burn her bed on the third day of her turning into a vampire, favorite thing I've ever done. But at the end of the day, stories is what motivates me. I love stories, mythical stories, past stories, history stories, how people like decide culture based on superstitions and stuff. I mean, the Victorian age obsession with communicating with the past, I love that. And it makes the entirety of Beatrice's story. Because she had friends, and those friends were also obsessed with the past in the same way. And they were thieves, like her. But they were a very tight-knit group. They weren't thieves to be thieves. They weren't looking to be... They weren't looking to be rich. They just wanted more lore about the past. They were historians, you can say. Archaeologists, historians, people on an adventure trying to discover more of the ancient worlds and stuff. So the things they stole from the museums and stuff with Beatrice's help, because Beatrice had a lot of intel, which again I want to reveal more when Sia is back. But with her intel, with stuff they searched up, they were just trying to steal artifacts constantly in order to kind of build up their own story of the past, basically. Oh yeah, freckles. I need to give Sia freckles. They don't need to be as intense, but they do need to be there. Yay! Sia has freckles. I don't have that many freckles. I have more sunspots, if you see from my picture. But I love freckles. I absolutely love them. So she gets freckles. Do her lip a little bit. Ease the intensity a little. Which color is it right now? Auburn. Okay. Let's see brown for a second. I guess it works. Yeah, this works. Sia is easy to make because I've made her a million times. At a certain point, you kind of just get used to making that. Not the same makeup. Boo. I need to find which mod replaced this. I want the scarring. Ooh, what's this? Yeah, that's also the problem. It's like I'm looking at the picture, but it's not the same. Those are not the same tattoos as in the picture. Like, look at this, all covered in dots. These are not dots. Oh well. Let me see if the Phoenix one is still the same, because that's my favorite tattoo. This one. I love this tattoo. She doesn't have that in the RP, of course, but I just love this tattoo. It gives such a vibe. And especially if you turn this eye golden, which I also love doing. That's the left eye? Yeah. No, not demonic. Where's the normal golden? No! Dang it. Then with their demon eyes. That also is pretty cool, actually. Phoenix eye. Almost. No. Oh, it's so close. I don't want to give it red though. There's a reason why it's not red. It's not really golden though. No. Well, I guess this is how her eye would look when she's like bleeding out tears. That kind of makes sense. Tina, that's not yellow. That's demonic. That's not yellow. That's also demonic. Ah, there we go. It was the elven ones. I like giving her. Yeah. There we go. I just love the phoenix effect of this. It works so well. So that's Sia. I'll just look at the powers again. She has extremely good strength because of her vampiric side right now. Dexterity isn't as good as Evan and Neora. That is true. Her constitution is pretty good though. She actually has better constitution than Evan and Neora, surprisingly, despite not being an elf. Intelligence is indeed average. Wisdom is also average. Charisma is really strong as well. Not to say she is a person that comes up and is like, oh hey, but she does have, because charisma also gives power of perception and being able to detect lies and stuff. So it checks out. Insight, yeah, yeah. Plus 8 on deception. Lol. Be a bully. Well, she's not a bully, so I'm gonna take that out. You are gonna get insight. And that makes a lot more sense. Persuasion is also something she's pretty powerful at. Even though she doesn't like that fact. Technically, yeah. She doesn't need that. History would also be pretty powerful, but ah yeah, remember the past of the world and its people. Yeah. This is the one I want to give her most in the RP. Arcana checks. That's also one of the reasons why I want her training in magic. Because as we go on with the newer arcs, she's gonna be confronted with a lot more old magic. So I do want her to be a little more powerful in it. Deception. That isn't actually her strong suit. God. Religion doesn't feel like her thing though. Well, the only thing I can give it though. Works well enough. Deception is not her strong. She's decent at it. I mean, she did have to lie a lot being on the run with Evan, but she doesn't enjoy doing it, and that is slightly a tell for her. The fact that she doesn't enjoy doing it kind of gives her away a little bit. Urchin. Yeah, I'm gonna just give her sleight of hand instead. Amira. My cat just came inside and now she's already yelling at the window again. She's done with me streaming. Don't want me to stream anymore. Okay, I think it works. Lots of light magic, lots of healing. She's sorcerer because of the Phoenix Soul. That's right, that's why I did it. Otherwise I would have given her another class. But I really want this Phoenix Soul here. Because you got all these fire, heart of fire and stuff. Lots of fire damage. And the abilities make sense. She has sleep. Oh yeah, that power is really strong. I wonder if I'd give that. You know, Elise might have had some of that sleep power, some of that enchantment because of her singing. So I would say that if Elise sung a lullaby, you would be more inclined to fall asleep earlier. Oh yeah, it's almost 11 o'clock. Yeah, I'm actually done with Sia. She's done. I was just talking until you said that it's good. So yeah, that's a lot of backstories on the past people. Sia unlocked Elise's magic now, so she made the whole fam go to sleep. Kinda while being bewitched herself, enchanted herself by the peace inside her. But there's another reason for that, and I hope to reveal that after the carnival. So yeah, I hope you're happy. I hope I gave a lot of history on a lot of these characters. Oh yeah, I love doing that scene, and it was kind of difficult because like there was a real life character in there, the sleep spell. Yeah, I mean the in story Mark's mom was in there, and we tried to keep like real life people a little subtler in influence in the story, that they don't have too much talking points in there. They're just kind of in the background. But I really needed that moment for Sia to break. I needed one moment where Sia just broke, because Odette would never have woken up otherwise. It wouldn't have happened. So Sia needed to break, Odette needed to arrive. I love that sleep spell because that was a breaking moment for Sia. That was finally a moment where she realized what was happening as it was happening. She fully fought against it, because I did drop hints before that there were moments that Sia realized she was losing control of her own body. And she just fought tooth and nail not to have Mark live through that reality of having his parent either turn into a vamp or, you know, be dead if she failed. She fought tooth and nail for that one. But that spell, that sleep spell, I would say came from Elise. Elise was the past life with the ability to do the sleep spell. So yeah, I just wanted to say that still. So voila, that's a whole bunch of backstory on the past people. I can give more backstory next time. I think Evan. I don't think I gave a lot of backstory on Evan. I'll speak a bit more about Evan next time. I'm careful with Evan because I'm hoping to reveal a huge bunch of stuff in the carnival, but that's not possible until it happens. So you know, gotta wait a moment. Neora is slightly a character in progress, and I don't know which. Yeah, side characters are just left. I think Tyrael, Ellerit, Calon. All the other friends of Evan and Neora, Felix's family, I guess those people are there also. I don't think there are many other characters I've revealed already, except for Mary and Sia's friends a little bit, I guess. There aren't huge backstories to them. There's minor characters, I would say. But yeah, I hope you had fun. I hope I did well. I don't know when I'll do the next stream, but hopefully soon. Yeah. If you have any questions, you can make up a list for either next time or send me in the meantime. I'll think about them. Well, yeah, thanks for hanging out. I hope it was fun. I'll just save Sia real quick. Let me just do. But let me add 2.0 to it because I have so many Sia saves. I'll be a little mad if I save them all. I always make dog here. There we go. Skip. Yeah, I'm happy you had fun. I had fun too. My voice is a little dry, but it'll survive. I took enough breaks. So yeah. Let's just save this part up. Skip. Come on. Yeah, she's a phoenix. No wings for reasons. But they might. Her face is all the way in the corner. That's so funny. I just noticed that. Squish face. All the way. There we go. Main menu. Let's quit it all. We just go to the press any key. Let me just go to OPS. Learning as we speak. Where is that? I'm talking to myself. Let me just. There we go. Stalling for time. Alright. Okay. There we go. Make it a little bigger. Yay! Voila! Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully I'll do another stream soon. And I hope you got a lot of lore out of that. I'm gonna try to edit everything. Well, not edit, but upload everything to YouTube as soon as I can. And then hopefully you'll be able to rewatch if you ever need, like, you know, character inspiration. But yeah, have a good night. Have a good sleep. And till next time. Bye.